Recording. Okay, perfect.
All right, let's
Welcome
go.
to another episode here of SportsVibe, episode 117. So yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of content being created on a weekly basis now, but this is one of my favorite times of the year for sports in general. We have the NBA playoffs and Stanley Cup playoffs starting today, both at basically at the same time, like same day. Like the week one first round games. Yeah, today and tomorrow basically. So on top of that, the MLB season's going on. We'll talk about the local teams. Maybe look around the standings a little bit, talk some Yankees, some Mets. Maybe some Phillies. We'll also be talking about and previewing the NFL draft, which is next week, back in full swing. The final countdown towards the next, batch of college players going to NFL teams. Been a lot of speculation with the Giants, what they're gonna do, the Jets, Vegas, like stuff like that. So, very exciting time for football fans, for our baseball fans, basketball and hockey fans, sports vibe. Also just a good time for our show and too, because I love, the talking about every single series, every single week. It's kind of like one of the focuses of Sports Vibe. For football season, it becomes every NFL and college game every week or whatever it was, at least like some sort of weekly football content we do. And then this time of the year, it's if you remember back to our last year's episodes, we cover every basketball and hockey series and up to the final. So that loop is going to start again. Very excited about that. But yeah, I mean, it also just makes, creating, it makes the episodes easier for us because the content just kind of writes itself now. And we had kind of a lot of fun on March Madness for a while. And but now, kind of the professional realm. And we spent all these weeks on the show, kind of previewing the playoff picture, analyzing the standings, looking ahead to matchups, looking at your Islanders and whether they're going to make the playoffs for like 6 weeks, and then they did.
Man, shut up.
Well, unfortunately, all three New York hockey teams and Jersey hockey teams missed the playoffs in the same year. First year.
Well, no. Two, unfortunately, one fortunately.
I guess, yeah. Two, unfortunately. Wait. Yeah, right, because the Rangers. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. There we go. Yeah, so I mean, but apparently this is the first time that's happened since like forever, or maybe not forever, but like a long time ago. I forgot. It was all over on social media, like the last time all three. Let me just look that up for you. Yeah. All three New York missed the playoffs. It was either never or first time in NHL history. Yeah, that's what I thought. All the Metro New York teams have missed the playoffs. Unfortunate, but like not to have a dog in the race, I guess. Although obviously, and neither of us are going to be rooting for the Rangers anyway. So in that case, it's good. But
yeah, it was
but,
not over my dead body.
yeah, fair enough. But anyway, in any case, yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean the hockey playoffs are going to be bad or anything. Like, we do get the Battle of Pennsylvania, which I'm very excited to talk about. Over in basketball land, the Knicks are going to be playing today. We got a lot of great series. We got Philly versus Boston in the NBA too. So just a lot to talk about. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Why don't we just dive right into it? I guess
let's get into it.
Yeah, let's go. All 8 NBA series, all 8 NHL series. NFL, MLB. So you're gonna want to listen to this the whole way through, because this is
Strap in, everybody. Here
absolutely
we
a
go.
jam-packed episode if you've ever seen one. It's the first round, preview basically for all 16 series and beyond. So starting with NBA, let's talk about the play-in tournament a little bit because I feel like every year it kind of gets a little bit of like a this is the bust, like wasn't. But this year, like the play-in tournament was really good. If you saw like the Heat Hornets game going down to the wire, I mean the Amazon stream like cut out unfortunately right at the end. So but yeah, ending Miami season over there. Charlotte's become like a fan favorite like team for a lot of people that they've just had like a vibe going and then Portland knocking off the Suns. Philadelphia clinching against the Magic, in Philly. Golden State knocking off the Clippers, which I thought was hilarious because how people are like the corpse of Golden State came back and beat the LA Clippers, and now they're just rebuilding again or something. Like their whole era like kind of their arc failed, I guess, is kind of like the takeaway from that. Yeah, but Steph Curry went like nuclear. He had how many did he had 35 points in that game, he went 7 for 12 from downtown, like 12 from 23 overall. So he really like clutched up in a big game. He showed why he's like the greatest shooter in a big moment. You don't yeah, that's not a guy you want to be messing with in the play-in tournament in a winner take all one game scenario. But yeah, I mean, Warriors knock out the Clippers, but it's like even then, those are 9-10 games, so they still needed to play the 7-8, and then the Magic absolutely routed Charlotte yesterday. It wasn't even a game, and that really sucks because I really wanted to see Charlotte. Felt like a team of destiny in the playoffs, and now like Orlando's in it. And I don't have any beef against Orlando, but like the Magic, but it's just not the same. Like the Hornets have like I mean, they have Bridges and Knipple and LaMelo Ball. Like they just have a vibe, and their announcer
What's
that would have
that?
been like, yeah,
What's
you know what I
that
mean?
dance that they do? Orlando Magic,
Yeah,
Orlando Magic. Oh, I like that. I won't lie.
yeah, I
But
guess,
yeah,
yeah.
no, with all those with
The
that very
Charlotte
young roster, Charlotte's definitely on the upswing, I will
They
say.
are for sure. They've kind of made it out of their short lottery era, as I used to like call them, because they were like the Nats, like always in the lottery, like the Wizards, like never good, never getting out of it. Then they kind of became like more like okay, we're playing team, so they're kind of finding their vibes again, and they're close to breaking through. The Magic have also a young core as well. They around Paulo Banchero at 25. I mean, they have some pieces together. They were trying to make a little bit of a run at it, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but they're gonna be up against it now, going against Detroit. But and then in the nightcap yesterday, I was watching some of this. Warriors taking on Phoenix. This one, unfortunately, Steph Curry, when he didn't really, he had like 17. Like the whole team just didn't really do that well. They were kind of outclassed right from the jump against Phoenix. They were down early. Yeah, I mean, Steph Curry didn't go nuclear. I didn't even realize Porzingis was on the Warriors because I remember him
He's in
being
the
on the. I was like, what?
Warriors?
Yeah, he's on the Warriors. I don't know when that. I guess that happened mid-season because I remember him. He went into the he got traded to Atlanta from Boston, but I didn't even know when he got traded to Golden State. But like, I mean, like yeah, it's just his story is his Oh, for Buddy Hield and Jonathan Kaminga, which is also so weird because like I didn't even know they were in Atlanta, but like what the heck? Like it's just like yeah, I don't know. But Porzingis is like yeah, I mean I think Knicks fans are still salty because of he was injured back then, and then he was just never the same player after that, and he's kind of become
Yeah,
like
but
a nice little stretch five, but
yeah,
like
but
I
they
mean
also have to realize that he was like they were even if he wasn't healthy, they weren't going to contend for a championship. Even if he
yeah,
was
that's
healthy, like come on.
That's true. He was healthy with them actually for a bit, and he was a fun player. And then like they traded him, I think, to Dallas. Yeah, and I liked him in Dallas too. But he's kind of just bounced around. Like he had played a good bit, kind of a good role in Boston. But they didn't really need him though. Like they're already like you know what I mean. They're already winning
We were
without him.
pretty loaded, but
Yeah, like
like
he kind of put like I think he kind of helped put them over the edge in Boston, like and him and like Al Horford, like you have like those stretch big man like kind of guys and stuff, and he was like the extra piece. Like they already had such a good team, then you throw in like a guy like Porzingis, and it's like so. But then they traded him to Atlanta. I guess that didn't work out. He went to Golden State, so it's just like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's just like it's
yeah.
gone a long way from like the Tingus Pingus days, where like you remember that video? It's like who the fuck is
who
Tingus?
who is this? Who is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, it's just so funny. But anyway, so I'm going back to Phoenix Golden State. Yeah, no, like the Suns were just outclassing them from the jump. Literally, it was like 13-2. I was watching this at like at Olive Branch yesterday, 33-15 after the first quarter. And then by halftime the Warriors did come back because they won the second quarter 30-17. And then by the end of the game, Phoenix just like yeah, I mean they kind of just pulled away a little bit. I mean, you got a Jalen Green had like a masterpiece game. He had 36. He's like the perfect like complement for like you know what I mean, like for Devin Booker. Now they have like a like I've always liked Jalen Green. Like like he was really good with Houston too. Obviously made way for Kevin Durant, but still a really good player. D Book. He does what he does every year. Dylan Brooks is a nice piece. Like even though he's got some antics, it's kind of funny. And yeah, I mean, they have Jordan Goodwin. I don't know who that is, but I think he's pretty good or something. But Phoenix though, like they're gonna get like obliterated by the Thunder in round one. So so like
Wow, shows how much faith you have.
Well, yeah, I mean it's Oklahoma City, and like
Yeah.
I hope they enjoyed the play-in tournament. Which they also lost a game to Portland anyway. But yeah, because it's gonna get real very quickly. And I don't like the Thunder at all. Like I'm gonna definitely root for Phoenix, but like I mean I'm just being realistic on this.
Yeah, like come
Yeah,
on. Phoenix is
yeah,
not doing anything.
nah, no way. Well, like they might be like kind of sneaky good. Like if Jalen Green and D Book, they could win a game or two in the series. I think, but
They,
winning the series, right?
they might make it a series. They might, not just like
Maybe.
completely lay over and die.
I don't think they're gonna get swept, but like unless the Thunder like I don't know, but like, you know what I mean. I don't think they'll get swept. I think they'll probably win a game or two, but yeah, beyond that, like I can't really see that happening. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, I guess now that we're already doing this, like that could kind of be like our little like segue into series analysis. So like Thunder versus Suns, we already kind of have a prediction there. In terms of Suns could probably win a game, maybe two. Thunder definitely gonna win the series. I mean, it's
Thunder
Oklahoma City.
in
Thunder
five?
and I'm gonna go in five. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really. It's not that I don't have faith in the Suns. Also, I don't. But like the Thunder. I mean, I probably have more faith in the Warriors if they made it, because Steph Curry could get hot at any moment, like things like that. You know what I mean? Like the Suns, like I don't know, like they just lost to Portland. Like, yeah, no. Plus, but also the Thunder are just like, yeah, like you know what I mean? Like they're just like a machine. Like so, did they just rest
No,
their
that's true.
starters at the end or something? Because they lost their last two games like really badly. Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they
They
like
they
did that.
probably called up the G League.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know who the heck was playing. Like, yeah, well, yeah. Well, they had like Brendan Carlson and Nikola Topic, Peyton Sim. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
not
calling
just
up the G
Peyton
League
Sim.
in my mind.
Yeah, not Peyton Pritchard. Yeah, yeah. That's funny. They had such a good record. They literally just rested their starters for 2 games straight. Wow. Okay. Well, now anyway. So yeah, Suns Thunder. That's funny because the Suns versus Thunder was the last regular season game, and then now the Suns are going to be right back in Oklahoma City for the playoffs tomorrow, but a different feel now again. Against their big dogs, I guess. Against SGA foul baiting and the rest of them. So like that should be fun. But like I'm not gonna hide like my disdain like for SGA on this podcast, but like you can respect it. Like I don't. But, like he's a good
You
player.
can respect it. I
I
don't.
don't like. I like. I mean, I'll say this. Like, I the fouling is just like ridiculous. The rest of his game, though, like, I mean, the mid-range pull-ups and everything, like, he has a unique gift. Like, not too many people in the NBA shoot like mid-ranges like the way he does and gets to their spots and stuff like that. Like, he's definitely like he's definitely where he is for a reason. It's not just like all gimmicks or all foul baiting. I just don't like him though. Like, a lot of people don't. But I think I like sent you or someone a reel where it was like someone was like he keeps fouling, and then this little kid who's like 5 years old is like, yeah, he keeps fouling, and I'm like, oh my god, like this like little baby. It's just like
What, the little kid is like calling him out on it?
yeah, he's just like, yeah, he keeps fouling. I was like, yeah, or he keeps like I don't even know. He's just imitating like someone in front of him, like who was actually saying, yeah. I was just like, oh my god.
Let him
It's like
know. Let him know. You let him know, young man.
SGA got cooked by like a 5-year-old.
He
It's just
keeps
so funny.
fouling.
Yeah,
That's
it's like why does
funny.
he keep driving? Why does he keep getting fouled? Like, oh my god! But no, like yeah, Thunder in five. I don't know. I mean, the Thunder, yeah, they're a good team. Like we've seen it like all season, so like there's not really too much to talk about in there. I guess to go back to we kind of started with that because we segued from the play-in on that. Like we can go for the rest of this. Let's just go in order. On this. Starting today at 1 p.m., the first game of the playoffs. This is an interesting series too. Toronto versus Cleveland. So Toronto's back in the playoffs after I think a few seasons of kind of being in the middle. I don't really know what to expect from them because like yeah, you know what I mean. Like, but they're pretty decent. They're not bad, but they're also just you know what I mean. The Cavs at the 4th seed. I mean that could be a dangerous team. I mean James Harden. Frankly, he's never missed the playoffs in his NBA career, but he's also never won a championship. So, or been to he's been to the finals once with OKC like way back. But so people are like, James Harden doesn't miss the playoffs, and then they're like, yeah, but he doesn't win in the playoffs, and he literally single handedly like chokes in the playoffs too. Like when he was with Philadelphia, completely like derailed them against Boston. They're up 3-2. Nets, I mean, I think he was just injured a little bit. The Rockets could never get past Golden State, which kind of hurts me a little bit because I used to like Houston Harden and like that was like kind of then he just became like selfish as hell and like just kept changing teams like 3 times, but whatever. Like I mean,
I don't
yeah,
think
I don't
players
know.
become that way. I think they're just
Yeah,
that way.
NBA is kind of like that. I feel like him and KD like took it like to another level with the things, but it's for him. It's not even about ring chasing. It's just about like money and like I don't even know what he wants. Like at this point, like he keeps changing up. Like he'd probably be out of Cleveland in like 2 years, like too. But
I was gonna say, it sounds like you do know what he wants. He wants money.
yeah, he wants money, but which is fine. I mean, like yeah, but was it him or like somebody? No, that was Donovan. Well, Donovan Mitchell. See, the thing about the Cavs too, though, is that they're a team that, well, since it was different, obviously when LeBron was there. Like they go deep every year, but like after, you know what I mean? Like since then, like the Cavs have kind of been like a pretender. They've been like a really good regular season team and like a team that chokes in the playoffs. And I'm sure
Sounds like
because
Carolina to me, the
yeah,
Hurricanes.
well, I'm sure because they played Indiana like a couple seasons and the Pacers beat them, like what I mean, even being a lower seed. But now they add so Donovan Mitchell, who I like. I mean, now they have James Harden. It's gonna be interesting to see what that duo could do in the playoffs. That duo could do in the playoffs. It's an interesting line there. But yeah, no, I mean Harden and Mitchell going at it. I think the Cavs are the better team in the series, but the Raptors aren't like a bad team. I would probably go like like Cavaliers in like 6 games. I think that sounds about right.
Maybe even 7.
Maybe 7. I don't know. I don't know. Who does Toronto? They don't have like any of the guys like I remember like from their championship team. Oh, they have Brandon Ingram, R.J. Barrett, former Knicks draft pick there, Scotty Barnes. Yeah, Manuel Quigley, another guy who
I don't
was.
know. Toronto's not very impressive to me.
Yeah, they're like a young team that's growing. Bi, I think, is a good player. Like he has a good fit there. Jacob Puerto, RJ Barrett's nice. Quigley is pretty decent, I guess, too. Scotty Bart. Yeah, I mean they have a young core. They're like kind of rebuilding this thing in Toronto now that like DeRozan and all those guys, Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard, obviously that 1 year, but like like all the guys that kind of made Toronto what they were, and when what I mean, they've kind of like departed. So,
Yeah.
yeah, basketball north of the border. Yeah, I mean, they won the
Who would
championship.
have thought?
Yeah, right. No, do you remember that Nets Toronto series though in like 2013 where against the Pierce Garnett Nets where the Nets beat them in like 7 games and it went down to like the final like shot or something like that. Like yeah,
Yeah, I do.
and then Pierce like blocked it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that like crazy? Like I was like, yeah. He blocked Lowry's shot, and then the Nets won the series 4-3, and that was the Darren Williams was on that team. That was back in the Joe Johnson, Darren Williams, KG, Paul Pierce era. Like those were the Nets like I grew up watching. You know what I mean? Like that was like early in my like fandom, I guess. And when they kind of first moved to Brooklyn, and I kind of didn't really realize how that's kind of kind of didn't really realize like how bad the trade was like at the time because like they were having moments like that, and then the next round I think they got like swept by the Heat in the playoffs or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean like Miami or 4-1, they actually won a game in that series. I'm surprised, but like what the hell. But yeah, no, like
I
yeah,
just
right.
I just remember, I forget where I was, and I know I forget what town I was in, but I was in a pizza parlor, right? When the
Yeah.
Nets first announced their trade to
Oh
not
my
their
god.
trade, when the Nets first announced their move to Brooklyn, like
Yeah.
everybody in that pizza parlor was like the mood was like so damper, like everybody was like so, I don't
Yeah.
want to say like pissed off, but everybody was like nobody was
Like that.
happy in that
Yeah,
entire
that is
pizza.
sad. Yeah, and then the one where they traded for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, I guess everybody remembers, especially when the Nets landed. Remember the clean sweep trio thing, or like where they're getting Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and like was it someone else like random too, or something like
It
that?
was
Like
James Harden, wasn't it?
all on the same day? No, I don't think so. I feel like let me see. It was DeAndre Jordan, I think. Yeah, oh yeah, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and DeAndre Jordan. And I think Harden came later on, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
But even
Um
still, that they were trying to build a super team there.
they were, and like I don't blame them for doing it. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, everybody gets their chance at a super team nowadays. Or well, maybe not everyone, but like, you know what I mean? It was our turn. Like, the Nets, like, were building that shit up for years. So like, whatever. They took their shot. Obviously, it didn't work. So like, now they paid the price for like the next 10 years or whatever the hell. So like, it's fine. But anyway,
It's fine.
it's definitely not fine. Like I'm sad. There's a reason I'm wearing like my Knicks jersey and not my Nets jersey. For
The
this
fact that you
episode.
have a Knicks jersey is an insult.
Yeah. Like, oh well, that's a good way to pivot over to our next series because the Knicks are playing at the Garden today. Oh well, should we just do this in order or should we go east west? Because like I
Just
kind of have it
just go
written.
with however it flows. Like we're talking about the
All right,
Knicks
all
right now.
right.
Let's talk about the Knicks.
Fair enough. Yeah, let's do East and West because and then we already did Suns Thunder. We'll get back to the West side. But yeah, the Knicks. We talked about one New York team. Let's talk about the other. The Knicks opening up the playoffs at the Garden against the Hawks. Me and my friends will be screaming like maniacs at the watch party today. I'm so excited. This is what I love about Knicks fans. The Nets fans probably think a lot of the same things, especially about Philly and Boston. They just never say it because like they know that they're the Nets and they suck and they don't have that authority to talk. But Knicks fans are obnoxious and they don't care. And even when they were bad, they were kind of like that, which also kind of rubs people the wrong way. Like, I was like, why are you talking if you're bad? And Nets fans are like, even when we're good, we won't talk, fingers crossed. And I was like, nah, I'm going to talk. Like, I don't care. But, you know what I mean? That was just me. But like, I mean, most, you know what I mean? Even then, I still didn't talk too much because I was like, well, if it blows up and it did blow up, like, I'm going to have nothing to say. So, like, I was like a little careful on the super team era. But the Knicks fans are just another breed of crazy. They're kind of another thing about Knicks fans is nice is that they kind of have they're just close to as obnoxious as Boston and Philly fans. Not quiet, but they kind of like get away with it because they don't really overly cross the line like the other groups do. So they kind of have like that freedom to talk and like not the consequences, which is like also kind of nice in a way. I'm like it's like really bad. Like you don't like take this up like learn this from me, but like I do like I do like the Knicks that they kind of have that. They're kind of in the sweet spot. Like we're obnoxious, we're not too obnoxious. If we are too obnoxious, we get away with it. They don't. You know what I mean? Because Knicks fans are probably like in some ways more obnoxious when they say like fucking Bean and fuck Tatum and this and that. Like you know what I mean? Or they're like on the same level, but nobody calls them out for it. Everybody's like, oh, Boston fans are so obnoxious and
I
Philly
will.
fans are
Now
so
that this has been brought to my attention, I will call them out for it.
nobody says Knicks fans are so obnoxious, and if they are, nobody cares. Oh. But anyway, yeah. I don't know. I wish Nets fans picked some of this up just a little bit, but like, until they have a good team again, like it doesn't make any sense. So, point is, I don't know. In terms of Atlanta, I mean, Trey Young is another New York villain. This one, like, as a Nets fan, I'm not too crazy about because he didn't do anything against us, and I kind of did think the bow and the choking thing was funny. But at the same time, the F Trey Young chants are going to be back in full force, and that's going to be a vibe. So like, I'm going to ride with it. Also, who's going to win the series? Definitely New York. I mean, the Hawks. I don't even think they're that good. I mean, I think they're okay. Um, I think Atlanta could win a couple games, so I think they make this thing interesting, make the Knicks sweat a little bit in the first round. They've kind of had that villain arc thing going on, and you know what I mean. The Knicks are going to be gearing for revenge for that series where they knocked them out in 5, and Trey Young basically became like a New York villain forever. But I think this New York team is different. They've kind of learned the hard way through postseasons what to do, what not to do, building up like kind of a core, and the Hawks just don't really have that. So I mean, I think like the Knicks are, and they don't even have like Porzingis anymore either. Like they traded him, but that doesn't really matter. But yeah, Hawks are like a nice team, but I don't know. It's the Knicks. I think are gonna take this in like I want to say 6 games. I feel like I'm gonna give Atlanta some credit here. Like I feel like they could push the series a little bit farther than Knicks fans are gonna want it to be pushed. but I think the
I'm
Knicks
gonna
do.
go. I'm gonna go Knicks in 6.
Knicks and six. That sounds good. It
Yeah,
just rhymes, I guess. But like Knicks and six. Oh yeah.
Knicks in 6. 7 is too much respect. 5 is too little respect.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's a little sweet spot. Knicks and six is about right. All right. Well, that's speaking of, six, I guess we have to talk about the 76ers and the Boston Celtics, which is
Oh,
a Nets fan and
oh,
probably a Knicks fan's nightmare series
oh!
too. But like yeah,
What a series!
gross. But like it's my probably two least favorite teams. The teams that the Nets have beef with both because both of them have beaten them in the playoffs. And this is another reason I think why I kind of like the Knicks because when they what I mean, like they're all rivals with the same teams and all that good stuff. And I can't stand Philly or Boston, but the old me would have just been like, I hate both teams. Just that now I'm kind of rooting for chaos. So like I know the Sixers are bad, like I know Boston's gonna beat them, so why not enjoy it? So like for once, I'm gonna root for the C's to destroy Philly's soul, and then watch New York play Boston in the second round and hopefully
Boston in
take them
5.
out. Yeah,
Boston in
Sixers have
5.
no shot. Also, is Embiid even playing in the series, or is he not? Like nobody knows. I mean, I don't know. He probably
It
will.
doesn't even matter. Does not even matter, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. Because yeah, even if he's fully healthy, and that's like a very big if, like yeah, Boston's just way too
If he
much.
is playing, it's still Boston in 5, except for one game goes to overtime. That's
Yeah.
that's how little of a difference
And
gonna
if
make.
he's
They're still
not,
gonna
it
win.
could literally be Philly. I mean, Boston in four. Maybe five. I think Philly could win one game on them.
4 is pushing it a little bit, I would say.
Yeah,
I
nah, I think
never I
five.
don't even try to go with, like, the clean sweep when I'm predicting stuff because the clean sweep, like,
It
happens
hardly ever
absurd.
happens unless one team is like way, way, way better than another one. Like you know what I mean. Even then, sometimes like the fluke win happens. Like Pistons versus
Yeah.
Bucks like a few years ago. Like Milwaukee like 50 times better, and Detroit still won a game on them. So like,
Not
but
to
yeah.
not not to, like, lump everything together, but the Detroit, over the Magic in 5,
Mm,
Boston over the
yeah.
76ers in 5.
Right. And also, is Jalen Brown like healthy or like what's going on with him? Like he's kind of been in and out of the lineup too. But which is funny because now Jason Tatum is fully healthy and Ron Harper Jr. has been like going off for Boston. Like he has a full time roster spot now over there.
What a way to represent. Love Ron
Right?
Harper Jr.
Yeah. But now Tatum's healthy. Brown is like in and out. Either way, Boston's gonna take this in five. I agree with that. And then as well as Magic versus Pistons, same thing. Yeah, Detroit. See, this is like where it gets interesting. Is Detroit really the best team in the Eastern Conference? I mean, the record says they are, but I mean, this round I don't think they'll have much issue with Orlando. But then it gets interesting because if we have that big Titanic like Celtics Knicks series in the second round that is going to get everybody stirred, then like after that, like the winner of that would probably play Pistons versus Cavaliers, so that's like, now you go against Mitchell and Harden, and then the winner of
Piston,
Detroit.
you mean Pistons or Cavaliers? You mean the winner will go against the Detroit Pistons after they beat the Cavaliers?
Right. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. And then I guess the real question at that point is, can either the Knicks or Boston beat Detroit? And I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like the Pistons might be able to beat them, but at the same time, I feel like, you know what I mean? Because they actually beat New York three times in the regular season, Detroit, and then I think they beat Boston a couple of times. So we'll see. But the playoffs are a different beast. That's where experience, like all those things, kick in. The Knicks beat them last playoffs. The Pistons beat them this regular season. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like youth versus experience. Like I guess that's where the experience of the Boston Celtics being in the playoffs every year, the Knicks kind of learning it the hard way, losing to Indiana, beating Boston, like that's where like those things can kind of help like teams like the Celtics and the Knicks and hurt the Pistons, which is, if I was a Detroit fan, that's like what worries me a little bit. But right now, like the vibes are really good. They've been playing really good. 60 wins for a Detroit Pistons team who is like literally worse than like we were for like the longest time. And yeah, I mean they're here. Like, let's see. You know what I mean? And let's see how this goes. I mean, yeah, the Kate Cunningham show, I guess. I don't even know like that many players on their team. Like with Tobias Harris, I kind of liked, as much as I hate the Sixers, like I've liked Tobias Harris. Tyrese Maxey I always thought was like a crazy good basketball player. He doesn't get enough respect on Philly. And then Detroit has like, Asar Thompson. They have Duncan Robinson, who's like, I remember him as the bubble sharpshooter. Um, and of course, Kate Cunningham, he can give you like 30 on a night. So yeah, they're a fire team. Magic, yeah, I mean, they have a nice young core. They, building around Banchero, all those guys. They absolutely
Not
routed
quite there
Charlotte.
yet, though.
Yeah, but they're not. They have a nice. They got Desmond Bain, Jalen Suggs. They're definitely putting something together nicely. Franz Wagner, but yeah, they're not. Wendell Carter, but yeah, they're not going anywhere, especially not against this Detroit team. So, um, yeah, I agree with your prediction of not Boston, Detroit in 5. Yeah, I think that's pretty sound logic. Now I guess going over to the Western side of things. Yeah, well, I mean, we already talked about the Suns versus Thunder. I think the series I'm most excited about in the West is another round of Timberwolves versus Nuggets, because now we have, I think the Wolves won one, the Nuggets won another one, I think the one that where they won in 7, and it was like it was a lopsided blowout series. It was like one time Minnesota won by 40, and then the next time Denver won by 50. I was like, what the hell's going on? And then Game 7 was like a 10-point Nuggets win, and I don't know. That was, yeah. We'll see what happens this year. That's always a fun one when these two square off. It's becoming like a little rivalry in the Mountain Western area of the country, like
You,
Wolves
you,
Nuggets,
kn- you know
Jokic
what
versus
though?
Edwards. Yeah.
You want to talk about that series? You know what series
Oh
I'm
my God,
highlighting?
the Rockets.
Lakers,
Yeah.
Rockets.
Oh, this is gonna be cinema because we have LeBron James going against Kevin Durant. Um,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
You
Luka
know,
Doncic might be coming back in this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if for a pure basketball lover standpoint, Timberwolves Nuggets is probably like gonna be very appealing. But if you just like the storylines and the big names and basketball too, and the big brands, Houston versus LA, the Lakers,
the
you know
thing
what I
is
mean?
why I say
Yeah.
like the Timberwolves don't seem to be on Denver's level. They seem to be like a
Yeah,
little bit like further back in my
a little
opinion.
bit. Yeah.
But the Lakers and the Rockets, not only does that have the big names, but it's the 4 and the 5 seed. Like you can't get more even than that. You know, uh,
True.
Rockets are 52 and 30. Lakers are 53 and 29. That's one
Yeah,
game.
I didn't even realize they were the 4 and 5. For some reason I thought they were the 3 and the 6, but oh, that's
No,
the
the 3 and
Nuggets
the 6
alone.
is the Minnesota one you were just talking
Yeah,
about.
they're very even. Yeah, yeah, Lakers and Rockets. But I mean, obviously the big draw is going to be Kevin Durant versus LeBron James, and Luka Doncic. I think coming back mid round, possibly. I don't know what the status is on that, but yeah. I mean, Lakers. It should be a really good series, like for sure. Like I think Kevin Durant might be also injured, or maybe not injured. I think he might be out for game 1 only, but I'm not sure. But right now the Lakers are going to be without yeah, Luca
He's listed as a game
and
time decision. That's what he's listed as.
KD. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves right now injured on a yeah, they're sidelined indefinitely. So yeah, I mean LeBron James gonna be coming in though, looking for I guess another ring here. This is like a good chance. Like, usually the Lakers are like I feel like we got to a point with them where it's just like, okay, the Lakers and Warriors just kind of hanging around languishing. But now like with Luca and this year the Lakers actually look good in the West. So like I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This is gonna be a very good series. And Houston, especially, you know what I mean? Like Kevin Durant, like I really like the way they built their roster. I mean, they, Alfred Şengün, they have Kevin Durant, they have, I mean, guys like Reed Shepard and, I mean, Clint Capella, Terry Easton. I mean, it's too bad they had to get rid of Jalen Green, obviously, but like, I mean, they had to do that to make room for, KD, obviously, but like, no, them build, Jabari Smith Jr., Şengün, Amen Thompson. I mean, like my goodness, he is like one heck of a player too. I mean, like he had 41 one of the other games. Yeah, so Şengün, Amen Thompson, he can get to the hoop. I mean, Durant, Jabari Smith Jr. And then even guys like Reed Shepard on the bench. Like, yeah, I mean, Rockets are a solid team, but it really depends on I guess if Luka can get back healthy and when that will happen. And you know what I mean? I don't know. This is going to be a tough one to pick. Like both of these series actually, we should do, but I don't know. I mean, like, damn, like I would probably go Nuggets and like 7 because that one seems to always go 7 games for some reason, and
Yeah.
Rockets, right? Maybe I don't know. I don't want to pick against the Lakers, but I feel like I kind of have to. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have to go with like Rockets and 6 for the Lakers series.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be no sweeps no matter no matter which series. Rocket,
Yeah.
see, it depends on how long Luke is out for. You know,
Yeah. See, that's
if
the
Luke
thing.
is
Injuries
out,
are like messing around with the NBA. Like I feel like it's just
if
like
Luke is out until like Game 4, and then
look
the
at that.
Rockets already built up a sizable like 3 games to 1 lead. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
then the Rockets are going to win. But if Luka comes back like literally after 1 game, then that tilts it in the favor of the Lakers, which is you know that series has the most headlines, the most storylines. That's the one I'll be watching definitely.
Right. Right. Yeah. No. I excuse me. Yeah, I agree with that. Like I don't know honestly, but yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Luka Doncic. Yeah, it does depend on when he comes back. Which if it's gonna take a few games and stuff, like the Rockets could build a sizable lead on them. Like you said, 3 games to 1, perhaps. So unless like
Yeah,
LeBron has some crazy magic and they get to like 2-2, and then Luka comes back, that could swing the entire series. But yeah, they gotta like be able to withstand and also win these couple games in LA. Like the series starts in LA. If Rockets go up like 2-0 in LA and go back home to Houston, like this thing is like a wrap, you know what I mean? Like so
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. If
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
and,
And
and
then that pretty much sums that one up. And then we already
I was gonna say Spurs and Vibe, right?
yeah, yeah. And
Spurs and
Portland's a
Vibe.
nice little story. Like I'm glad they're back in the playoffs. Love Damian Lillard and everything, and it's nice that he's back there too. But
Welcome
this
back to the playoffs. Here's the door, essentially.
yeah, here's the. I thought you were gonna say like here's the divorce, and I was like, hold on a second, but like no, yeah, but like yeah, that's Denny Avdija had 41 in the play-in against Phoenix and got
Yeah, the
them
Spurs are gonna hand the Spurs are
hand
gonna
them.
hand the Blazers their papers and move
It's
into a different house, essentially.
yeah, basically that. Yeah, well, yeah,
Watch them walk out the door.
Spurs are a nice team, but like yeah, I mean Wembanyama, having guys like Dylan Harper, yeah, I mean De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, their triple guard lineup that could give people hell. Yeah, I mean even guys like Devin Vassell, Champagny, you know what I mean? They just have like
Wembanyama
a
he
whole
handles
team of
like a
ballers.
guard with the size of a center. It's insane to me.
Yeah, Wembanyama is just like a freak of nature. Like, I mean, him himself is like the defense, a lot of the offense, everything. And then you have some of the best guards in the league. I mean, you have De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle, like kind of the veterans who like know the system and everything. Then you have like Dylan Harper, in the wings over there, and guys like Carter Bryant and the younger guys too. So I mean, you have like a center playing with some of the best guards in the league. Like, I mean, like it's a dangerous combination. It's a very dangerous combination. So I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be cool to see Rutgers representation in this playoff. So with LeBron and Dylan, the two Harper brothers who have both made legacies at Rutgers, do their thing in the NBA. And I know we're kind of discussing maybe writing something on that. For on the banks. But yeah, it's gonna be really fun to see especially the Spurs, like because Celtics is kind of like a sore spot for Nets fans and just like 90% of the league too. So like it's a tough one, but the Spurs like like I can get behind I guess, and especially if they play the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, like that's gonna be like a must. Like we've been kind of hinting at this, but it's gonna be a must see. Yes. Yeah. So Spurs Thunder is gonna be like cinema, obviously, but I mean, like, I
Yeah,
hope like the Spurs can overthrow the, Oklahoma City. They beat them 3 times in the regular season. Like, if that doesn't say that they can, I don't know what does. But at the same, that's like a coin flip. So I think the whole Western Conference playoffs there's so many good teams, but I still hope it leads into Thunder versus Spurs because that's going to be like the de facto NBA finals, essentially,
absolutely.
even though Detroit's won 50, 60 games, even though the Knicks and the Celtics are very powerful teams, like that's going to be like the de facto like NBA finals right there. But
Absolutely.
yeah, cool. So, I mean, that kind of like, takes care of the NBA, basketball side of things. Going over to NHL playoffs,
You want me
I
to
love
take
playoffs.
over here? This is where I'll
Yeah,
tap
please
in.
do. But I love
Okay.
NBA basketball, but there's something fun and special about playoff hockey. And even without our local teams, there's a lot of fun storylines to talk about. So yeah, let's get this rolling.
Absolutely. So I'm actually gonna do this I'm gonna try to break down what series I think will be the least interesting, and then I'll go to the most interesting at the end. I
Hmm.
shouldn't really have to explain this, but Avs over the Kings in four.
Correct.
You know,
4,
um,
5.
the Kings have more losses than they have wins.
How is that even
The only reason
possible? The loser point?
20 loser points. They have
Wow.
20 loser
20
points.
loser points is crazy. Yeah, that's
That's
the most in
insane.
the league, right? Like, I would think.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Kings have yet to beat the Avs in 3 games this season.
Yep.
It's just, it's just not a fair matchup.
Yeah. It's too bad.
The the Avs are gonna come in there, you know, uh, raid the village, you know,
Mhm. The
uh,
President's Trophy winner.
raid the
Yeah.
village, burn
Yeah.
down the buildings, and and,
Well,
uh, lay down salt so nothing ever grows there
oh
again,
boy.
like a
Well,
Mongol horde entering, Los
yeah.
Angeles.
I was just thinking
Um
because the Kings play in the same place as the late and like at crypto with the Lakers, so like a little bit of
Yeah,
bonus postseason action for them. But yeah, that one might end quickly, and people will probably just go back to the Lakers, like anyway. So yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Kings are definitely a very beloved team in the Los
they
Angeles
are.
area. They
Yeah,
have
they won a
cups.
couple
They have
cups against
cups.
both the Devils and the Rangers, and like unfortunately, but fortunately the second
Martinez,
time.
the
So like,
Stanley Cup.
yeah.
Love saying that to Rangers fans. Love
Wait, wait. Oh,
saying
the
that.
Kings won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
Me too. Yeah,
the
that was
the Stanley Cup.
perfect.
Martinez,
Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
absolute
Yeah, the
cinema.
Kings are a beloved team because they were the Devils were the 6th seed and the Kings were the 8th seed in the Cup Finals that year, and
Yep.
like it was a nice little Stanley Cup Finals that we had going on across the coast, and same thing happened a couple years later, and the Kings I guess got the double, so Devils kind of
For
left out
sure.
in the cold, but that's okay, I guess. That was I think the year Devils beat Rangers in the playoffs to get there. That was a fun postseason too, like ooh. But yeah,
Yeah,
bringing
for
back
sure.
memories.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, let's get back on track with the the stuff though.
I'm gonna stick with the West when it comes to the boring series. I
Right.
think that, you know, I don't really. hmm, what's the best way to put this? Uh, I think. Hmm, because I feel like Dallas is gonna handle Minnesota without much of an issue, even though Minnesota finished what 4 games back of Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very I'm gonna go into this later, but I have a very good feeling that this is Dallas's prove it year. So I
Yeah.
think Dallas is gonna handle Minnesota in 5, I wanna say, you know?
Right.
Dallas handles Minnesota in 5. Don't get me wrong, Minnesota is a very good team, but I think this is like nut up or shut up. This is the nut up or shut up
Yeah.
year, you
Yeah.
know? In my expert opinion.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
Kinda going back over to the other side, uh man, I just wanted to talk about the Kings Avalanche series to get it out of the way first, because everything else I think is actually going to be a somewhat decent series.
Right.
But just to flip back over to the other side, Boston versus the Sabres. The
Ooh,
Sabres.
this one
What
I'm
a
very excited about
season!
because of the Saberhood making it back to the playoffs for the first
What
time
a
in 10 years.
season for the
My
Sabres.
God. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're a
Perfect.
Sabres fan, you're saying finally, finally.
Finally.
You know.
Yeah.
Um, And respect to Boston. They've had a great season. They have very good talent on the team and whatnot. The
Mm-hmm.
Sabres, they've been licking their chops at an opportunity like this. I'm going
I
to say the
know.
Sabres take it in 6.
Let's go. And
Um,
especially against another hated Boston team league wide in the Bruins, like and probably and an Atlantic Division rival in Boston and a kind of geographical rival, Buffalo and Boston. So that series is gonna be fun for like about 3 different reasons. So like that should be a good
Absolutely.
one.
Moving
Yeah.
one more series down on the Atlantic side of things, I'm gonna go the Lightning take care of the Canadians in 6.
All
You know,
right.
I do understand that they have the same amount of points, but this is
Mhm.
where playoff
Playoff
experience comes into
experience.
play. This is where,
Yeah.
everything, like all those like little factors. I do
Same thing
understand
we
that.
I was mentioning with, like, Boston and the Knicks versus, like, the Pistons or something like that. It's, like, the
Exactly,
same
exactly.
idea here, yeah.
If the series does go to 7, the 7 is going to be down in Tampa Bay. Never easy
Oh,
to
yeah,
win there.
that's a
Tampa
big
Bay has an
yeah, it's
insane
a
hockey environment.
yeah.
Not saying Montreal
So it's
doesn't. I'm saying Tampa
right,
Bay
of
does
course, well,
too.
they do, it's weird because you wouldn't think, like, the Florida teams would, but like, you saw how the
Well, the
Panthers were,
Panthers
and
really don't. The Panthers environment, it's okay, but the
yeah,
Tampa
I
Bay is
guess, that's
beloved
true.
by the city.
That's true.
But
Tampa Bay is beloved by the city. Florida has a good vibe. I like their vibe. I don't think they have a crazy home environment, but they have like a decent one.
they have
And
a
they
good
won a
home
couple
environment, but
cups.
it's nothing like it's nothing
It's not like
insane.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But Tampa
That's what
Bay
I
can
think. Yeah.
absolutely overwhelm you. I have a very good friend who can speak from personal experience who went down to a Tampa
Hmm.
Bay Lightning game, and he said it was very
Interesting.
overwhelming.
Huh.
Um, but
Interesting. Yeah.
I just think Tampa Bay has a little bit more of that playoff juice.
Yeah. As an
And
Islanders fan, I know you're speaking from like some experience
man,
with the
shut up.
Lightning. So sorry, I'm just like thinking because I was rooting for you guys too. I was just like they needed one more win. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, shut up.
yeah, let's not go back to that. But Habs versus Lightning though, a rematch of that series from the Stanley Cup final in the bubble year, which is a weird, like you know what I mean, a weird final to have, and but I think it's the Canadians were in the Canadian bubble, and then the Lightning were in the American bubble, and then they just matched them up anyway, or you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that
They
that
didn't
was a
have a
very that was
yeah,
a weird Stanley Cup. But the thing is,
yeah,
the Lightning also might be getting back some reinforcements in Jonas Johansson. He's listed as a day to day.
right,
Meanwhile, Canadians like Dobson and Patrick Laine, or
mm-hmm,
yeah, sorry, they're they're not day to day exactly. So we don't know when they're going to be back.
mm-hmm,
Um, with that being said, getting reinforcements back, being the more experienced team, having a chance to go down to 7 games in your hometown, I would have to imagine that the Lightning take this series in 6 games and kind
right,
of
yeah,
shove it to the
yeah.
Canadians in front of their home crowd. Like, yes, great season for the Canadians. There's the
Yeah,
door essentially.
damn. There's the
Um,
divorce.
yeah,
As my line was, but yeah, I don't know where that came from, but okay, we'll just roll with it. But yeah. Oh well, we obviously have to talk about I think my favorite series, even though like I
yeah.
mean
What's your favorite series? Let's hear
my
it.
favorite series is it's the Flyers versus Penguins, and
Oh, I
well,
hate this series. This
yeah,
series pisses me off so much.
fair enough. It's
First
not
of
even
all,
it's not because of like any rivalries that the Devils might have. Although I will be rooting for the Penguins because like
no,
obviously
no,
the I'm
I'm
just very
full.
excited because them two have a big in-state rivalry, and it's been like what I mean. I've seen the pictures, I've seen like the old moments between Philly and Pittsburgh and the fans, and Crosby
Well,
owning them, and you know what I mean. They have like some like
you
really good like
you
like
have to admit
memories.
it's a lot easier in a playoff series when you have a team that you can root against, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
it's a lot more enjoyable to be rooting for or rooting against somebody than have no rooting interest at all
yeah.
when it comes to like
That
playoff
is true.
series.
Yeah, but
I
honestly, like
will
even though I'm gonna be rooting for like Pittsburgh in this, like I don't care. I just want to see like a good series. These two teams hate each other. They're both from Pennsylvania. It's gonna be so much fun. I mean, like Flyers fans were saying like Crosby sucks, and Penguins fans are like, the goat's still in your head. You know what I mean? Like that's like what the vibes we're getting here. You know what I mean? It's a long time rivalry. Like that's kind of been dormant because neither of these teams have really been in the playoffs all that often recently, especially Philadelphia. And now we get playoff hockey in Pittsburgh, playoff hockey in Philly for the first time in forever. This is going to be fun, and this is going to be so much fun. I am so excited for the series.
You want to know why I'm excited for this series? Because
Yeah.
freaking hate the Flyers.
Well, that
You
too.
know,
Mm-hmm.
in my in my opinion, I almost hate the Flyers as much as I hate the Rangers because
Close.
my
Yeah.
God, are they dirty
Oh,
punks?
they're fucking annoying as fuck too.
They're and I'm not talking about the Flyers fans. I'm talking about the Flyer
The
team
team,
themselves.
the Broad Street Bullies.
Oh my God, I cannot. As an Islander fan, where there used to be line fights between the Islanders and the Flyers all the
Yeah.
time. I
Well,
cannot stand the Flyers.
I don't like
I
them.
hope
I
and
hope
don't get me
Pittsburgh
wrong,
destroys them.
I am no Pittsburgh fan whatsoever.
Yeah.
I can't like Pittsburgh, Crosby and Malkin and all those guys that have just lorded over the Metropolitan for
Yeah.
who knows how long at this point.
Yeah.
I'm
They're still
so
there.
sick of them. But I hope they go into I hope they go into Philly and I hope I hope they put a hockey stick to ass
To their
like
yeah,
paddle, you know?
yeah, man. Like, dude, I'm excited for this. Like, after I don't know what we're doing in New York after the watch party, but if we end up going just watching other games, like the Lakers Rockets game will be on. I want to see this. I want to see Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia. Like,
This is
what I
this
mean?
is
Like,
going to be get your popcorn ready. There's going to be fights
this is gonna
galore.
be good. Oh my god, I cannot wait. Like,
Get
just like
your
watching back the
popcorn ready.
old videos of their playoff series and just the excitement among the two fan bases, how much they hate each other, and yeah, I mean the Flyers like kind of have that rivalry with all of the New York teams too, including New Jersey, because we obviously say like Rangers suck, Flyers fall, and like all that good stuff. So like but yeah, I mean it's all in good fun. But no, the series is gonna be really good. I'm so glad we paired up the Pennsylvania. I'm trying to give them like a cute nickname. I can't like Pennsylvania duo or whatever the fuck. But like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Pennsylvania posse, that's what we're gonna call them.
Pennsylvania posse. Yeah, or the Pennsylvania. Yeah, that works, I guess. But how do we get through everything, or do we get
Nope,
like
we're
early on?
not even close because
Not even close.
we didn't get to my flaming hot pick in the West.
All right.
Because I did a bracket for the NHL playoffs. Um,
Yeah. Ooh,
First of
fun.
all, we still got to talk about Sens and Hurricanes in the East.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Senators, it was nice knowing you. The regular season storm is coming. Um,
No, not
as I
Carolina.
have so affectionately dubbed the Hurricanes, the
Oh, I hate them so
their
much.
their new nickname in my book is the regular season storm.
The
Um,
storm surge. I do like storm
yeah,
surge. Like I will say, I do like the storm surge. But when they like do the
we
little
know
like
for
hockey
sure
stick hold up thing
we
or
know
like
for
whatever you
sure
want
that
to
the
say.
Hurricanes are not going to be winning not going to be winning the conference final. However, they
Yes,
will get
sir.
there and get swept by whoever they play because that's just
Yes.
poetic justice
Yeah,
every time.
that's Carolina. Who would they get swept by this year? Like Buffalo,
Yeah. Well, no, they
Tampa
yeah,
Bay,
probably
probably
like
Tampa Bay. Yeah.
probably Tampa. Well, I have them against Tampa in my bracket.
There we
Um,
go.
Tampa makes the cup again. As
Tampa
much as
will
I hate to
beat
say that,
Carolina. Tampa will beat Carolina 100%.
yeah,
If it's against
but
Buffalo, we're
but
risking it a little bit, but like I will say that.
but Carolina always does really well in the first two rounds.
Oh yeah, like really
Set,
well. Like they like humiliate their opposition for 2 rounds, like last year, like
Ottawa,
the
I'm
Devils, the
sorry,
Caps. Yeah,
your
I don't.
humiliation has come.
Yeah, we'll come back to the playoffs, but here's the divorce. It's like the line's been all before.
Welcome,
Sorry, I don't
welcome
know
back to
where
the
that came
playoffs.
from.
For
I
the
should say
boys.
here's yeah here there's the door, but no, it's yeah, but I mean it's the first time they've been in the playoffs in several seasons too. So I mean like right or
Yeah,
no, yeah
no,
well,
it's been a little bit for them.
yeah,
It's
it's
been a
got
little bit for
Makachuk's
them.
brother, right? Brady is on that team.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
but you don't
no.
have the
Sorry.
star power to stand up to the Hurricanes. You don't have the
Yeah.
experience to stand up to the Hurricanes.
No.
If it goes to Game 7, you're not going to have the home ice advantage like the Hurricanes will.
Right. Yeah.
It's over. You
Yeah.
know, like
Carolina
you
looks
might
good.
push it to
Yeah.
you might get lucky and
I'm
push it to 7, but you're not going to win the
I'm
series.
not gonna win it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, 7 is. I mean, maybe. Yeah. I could see 6 or 7 games. Yeah, potentially.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, 6-7, but yeah, no, Suns Hurricanes. It's an interesting one. Like it's always like interesting. It's because I feel like Carolina always ruins the party for whoever they're playing early, and this year it's not. It's none of the Metro trio, which is kind of nice in a way. But it's gonna be
Yeah.
It's gonna be Ottawa. So yeah, So now we have the Metro trio. We have the Pennsylvania posse. We have Carolina ruining everything. We have and then losing in the
Hockey
ECF.
playoffs are back, baby.
Yeah, we got all of our storylines going. We got
Just to
Buffalo, Boston. Yeah. We should go back to the western side, I guess. And
Yeah, let's finish up the West real quick.
yeah.
I do have I in my bracket, I actually have Dallas winning the Stanley Cup
Oh
because
wow,
I've been saying,
the whole
put up
thing.
or shut up year. It's Dallas, it's your time.
Yeah, I feel
Because
like it's
Colorado's not
Colorado's like year to like. I mean, well, actually
nope.
no. Yeah, well, Dallas has kind of been knocking on
President
the
Trophy
door for
winners
like
do not
years
win
and
the Stanley
years.
Cup. President Trophy
Yeah,
winners do not win the Stanley
yeah.
Cup. It's cursed, okay?
You're right. You're right. That's a proven thing. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
Dallas takes them in the second round. I
yeah.
said, this was my kind of like my flaming hot pick of the first round. I'm going with the
Yeah.
Mammoth over the Golden Knights. You know?
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going with the Mammoth over the
I don't
Golden
even.
Knights.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's a battle of the recent.
Yeah.
Well, Vegas isn't really recent anymore, but you know what I mean.
I
The
mean,
expansion.
7 years ago,
Yeah,
8 years
yeah.
ago.
It's been like 10 years now, but like their first year they made it to the Cup Finals, and then losing to Washington. Later on, they end up winning. They've kind of always been in the mix. Dallas has always been like recently been in the mix. Haven't been able to get over the Oiler hump, I guess. Or the in the Western Conference Finals they've been
Well,
falling
they
short. Well, they
Dallas,
did. They lost to Tampa Bay in the Stanley Cup Finals. They lost to
yeah,
Edmonton back to back years in the Western Conference Finals. Edmonton lost back to back years to Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals. So these trends just continue all over the place. But Florida
absolutely.
and Toronto are not in the playoffs this year at all. So in a little interesting twist of fate. So yeah,
Absolutely. But do you mind? Let me just break down
yeah,
my Mammoth
uh-huh.
Golden Knights
Right,
real
yeah,
quick.
yeah,
First of all, if you look at the Mammoth and the Golden Knights are 39, 26, and 17, but the Mammoth are 43, 33, and
33
6.
6.
You know,
Huh.
the
Yeah, that's
the only
interesting.
reason why the Golden Knights are so far ahead of the Mammoth is that they have 11 more loser points. And guess what?
Mm,
They're not even that far ahead of the Mammoth.
they're
They're
only
only 3
3 points ahead.
points ahead. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that is an oddly even matchup for,
Right, and that's
you
even with
know,
them having 11 more loser points and less
yeah.
wins. Yeah, they're still only 3 points ahead, even with 11 more loser points. So
Mhm.
that's
Yep,
yeah, that should be a very
exactly.
good matchup. I just don't really know too much about like who's on the Mammoth and like, exactly like who's like I mean, it seems like they
Well,
kind of
first
had
of
a
all,
yeah.
the Mammoth actually did a very good job. They have a very good, system, I would say, implemented. Um, they have a much higher goal differential than the Golden Knights do. The Golden Knights have a +15, while the Mammoth have a +28.
28
That's
and
like a big difference right
yeah, the
there.
Canucks
I
have
think
a minus 100. I just
what?
saw the Canucks have a negative 100 goal differential.
Yeah, because 'cause they're just straight awful. But, the
Yeah.
Ducks made it in with a -15, and the Kings made it in with a -22. Isn't that just
Wow.
insane?
Yeah, that is
Meanwhile
crazy.
meanwhile, in the East, the Capitals made it in with a +14. Sorry, the Capitals
Plus
did not make it in with a +19. Isn't
19,
that just
yeah.
insane?
That
But,
is crazy. Wow, interesting. Philly made it in with the 7. Well, they came back. They were way like below in the standings. They like roared back at the end to get to like
absolutely.
yeah. So
But,
yeah, yeah. Anyway, going back to
Utah U
our picks.
Utah is definitely going to give the Golden Knights some fits. I don't think this is going to be the series that goes to 7 games. I'm booking that right now. These teams are too even, but the Mammoth are going to get it done in 7 games. Clock
Nice.
it.
Mammoth at 7. Wow. All right.
um,
Cool. So I mean that pretty much
one
what do we
more. We got one
no
more.
Ducks versus Oilers,
Um,
right?
I love the Ducks. I want the Ducks to win. These teams are so evenly matched. I'm going to
Yeah,
give the
yeah. They're
playoff experience,
very
the
to
home ice
Edmonton.
advantage to Edmonton.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would have done the same to the Golden Knights. I'm just not convinced about the Golden Knights this year. And I think the Mammoth are going to come in with something to prove.
Ooh,
The
yeah.
Ducks, Ducks, you have nothing to prove. This is a great season for you. You know,
Right.
no matter win
How
or
slumping.
lose, what a
Yeah, the
turnaround.
Ducks and the Kings are in the playoffs for like feels like the first time in like a long time, which is interesting.
Yeah. But, you know, respect to Anaheim. I think I have to go with the proven commodity here. You know, that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Edmonton, I actually have Edmonton going all the way to the cup, to not to the cup final,
Oh
but to
wow.
the conference final again,
Yeah.
where Dallas
Mhm.
finally gets their revenge, and Dallas goes on to win the Stanley Cup over Tampa Bay.
Ooh, nice. Oh, nice. Okay, I like
Yeah.
it. That sounds amazing. Yeah. I don't know. Chat. I'm gonna have to like try to pick this like now, but like on my own. But I could do something like more wild card-ish, I guess, and see. You're kind of like doing the logical play, which is probably a smart one. Shit. I don't know. I mean, like, would it be crazy to like, damn. Would it be crazy to be like go like with like Buffalo versus like Colorado or like something like that? I don't know, just like on like vibes only or something like I don't know.
Buffalo, I had losing to Tampa. The thing
Yeah,
is, in the East, there are several teams that I can make a case for. I can make a case for Buffalo,
for
Boston,
Carolina.
Tampa, um, Canadians. I can't
Yeah.
make a case for Carolina because we know what we got with
Oh
them.
right. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But there's 4 teams in the
True.
East that I can legitimately see not just making the cup, but winning
No
the cup.
winning it.
In the
I don't know.
West, I
Like
could
if I were to
see
yeah.
in
Colorado,
the
the
West, I can
Avalanche
In the West, I can see 2 that make it. No, sorry, I can see 3 that make it, 2 that actually win it,
actually win it.
you
Yeah.
know?
It's interesting.
I could see,
Yeah.
I
Dallas.
could see
Dallas, Minnesota. Whoever wins that series is gonna go like far in this thing, I feel like.
in my opinion, I could either see the Avalanche, Dallas, or Edmonton making
I
the
mean, I could see
final.
Edmonton. Yeah.
I don't think Edmonton's gonna win it. If they do make it, I think they're just gonna be pushed aside again.
Jeez.
So, my only thing that I can see coming out of the West is Avalanche and Dallas, and I think Dallas
No.
is gonna win.
All right. Well, I guess to be like slightly different. I don't know. I feel like the Avalanche are really good, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dallas could definitely beat them. That's the thing. Like the President's Trophy winner doesn't usually win it, but I feel like
Yeah.
Avalanche is just so talented. They might be able to be the team that makes an exception to that rule if they can get past like Dallas, Edmonton. I mean, the Oilers have been like knocking on that door for a while. Like, who knows if they like show back into the
Yeah, but the
I don't know.
Oilers aren't built right. That's the thing. They're not
That's
built to win
true,
cup.
yeah. I don't know, I'm gonna roll in with the Avalanche and man, like, I really yeah, I don't know, I wanna do like, for fun and vibes, it's probably gonna be, like, Avs versus Sabres. In reality, it's probably gonna be, like, Lightning versus Avalanche. It's also a cup finals rematch, actually. And then, yeah, I can't really trust Carolina, so, like, that actually might happen, like, the
I don't
Lightning
trust Carolina at all. I don't even if
Tampa versus
like
Colorado might happen, actually, so that could
you
be
want to
interesting.
hear something awful? You want to hear something awful? The Avalanche, not the Avalanche, the Hurricanes are like 1-16 in
In the Eastern
Eastern
Conference
Conference
Finals.
final games. They've made the Eastern Conference Finals like what 4 times, and they've won one singular game across all those 4
Yeah, that's nuts.
matchups. That's pathetic. Like
Yeah,
like I was
that's
always the one that was like, okay, well, Carolina's been there forever. They're gonna eventually break through.
right.
But no, like when I saw them win that one game against the Panthers, I was like, oh my god, they're actually gonna do it. And then they completely laid down and died after that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that is what happened, like, multiple years in a row, with the Rangers,
Yeah,
I
they get to
think.
the conference final and lay down and die.
Florida, two different yeah, it was yeah, it was Florida, I think, swept them one, and then I think the Rangers beat them in, like, 6, and then,
No, it wasn't the
right?
Rangers. It was always
No?
Florida twice.
It was Florida twice. I thought the Rangers beat them one year
In
too.
the playoffs, but not in the conference
Not in
final.
the no, that was the second round, I think. Because then the
Yeah.
Rangers lost to Florida in the ECF, and I was enjoying every bit of that
No,
too.
the Rangers lost to Tampa in
Oh,
the ECF.
Tampa. Oh,
Yeah.
huh. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it was the
Oh, that was
Islanders,
yeah.
the Rangers all lost to Tampa in the ECF.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it was for 3 years in a row. It was the New York
9-21
teams.
and oh in the Eastern Conference Finals is hilarious, but
What's up?
Um, no, their record, like, yeah, 9-21, 9-0 in conference finals games. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Carolina, playoff history. Yeah, I
Not a
mean
good
it's not good. Like it's good in a couple of, and it's good for like 2 rounds, and then it's bad. So like yeah,
Yeah, that why do you think I
yeah,
have affectionately dubbed them the regular season storm? Because they're not a
yeah,
hurricane when it gets to
exactly.
the playoffs. They're more like a tropical breeze.
Tropical breeze. That's so funny.
That's what they
Yeah,
are.
they're not.
Like, that's
Yeah,
what they are.
literally.
Every playoffs, they just lay
Yeah.
down and die.
Right, because 23 they lost to yeah, they beat, let's just go over this. They beat the Islanders in 4-2. They beat the Devils 4-1. And then they lost to Florida 4-0. Like, which was like already
How do
pretty,
you how do you nearly sweep two teams in the playoffs and then just
and
die?
then just lay down and die. Well, the thing is, like, one again, then that Florida series, game one was a 4 overtime loss and and a 1 goal
It doesn't
game.
matter though.
Yeah,
Like
that's all of them were 1 goal losses actually. And I think they just Florida just took their soul is what happened. And
oh my
then the next
god.
year, and yeah, that's too bad. It's like not good enough. But yeah, Florida close swept them, and that's more painful because like that's like the Nets getting swept by the Celtics, but every game was close. Like that one was rough. Like so that's what happened that year. The next year they lost in the semis. Yeah, this is the one where they beat the Isles 4-1, lost to the Rangers 4-2. Yeah, I was right about that. And then 24, or 25, it was win 2 rounds, yeah, Devils 4-1. I went to the one game they won, the 3-2 overtime, Devils win. That was crazy. And then yeah, Carolina just won the game 5 in the same double overtime. They easily took care of Washington too, because showing how fraudulent the Capitals were. And then then they lose 4-1 to the Panthers, and they look dead the entire. This one was not a one. The 2 years ago was a 1 goal series every game. This was just like 5-2, 5-0, 6-2, 3-0 win, 5-3 loss. So this was completely domination by the Cats. And then yeah, well, this season, I don't know. This season, no excuses for Carolina because they're, you know what I mean. They're gonna have the experience advantage now against a lot of these teams. They're gonna have the experience advantage over Buffalo. Tampa Bay's kind of been out of it for a little while. I mean, they have no excuses. Carolina, you know what I mean? Like this is their year to prove it. That they're for real because, like, you know what I mean? Like they've yeah, I mean this is their best shot. If they can't like make it this year where they're like you know what I mean, like way ahead of other teams and more experience, and they've kind of been building, they've kind of no Florida, they've kind of had some tough series losses. If they can't push through the next level this year, it's kind of like on them. But knowing them, they probably won't. So but yeah,
Mm.
that's a Carolina thing. But anyway, this has been really fun. I guess I did also want to do a little bit of NFL draft preview, because we might be doing a live stream next on Thursday. So not official.
Ooh, everybody better tune in for
Yeah,
that.
that's
It's
during the
very
draft as they make the picks, which I'm like super excited about, honestly. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about the NFL draft. I mean, like it's kind of been a long time in the making. It kind of quiets down and gears up a little bit. I think we kind of have some idea. Like this isn't really a deep class, but like in the beginning, I think everybody knows that Vegas is taking Fernando Mendoza from Indiana.
or now hear me out. Are they gonna draft
Okay.
Rutgers star quarterback
Ethan
Ethan
Kaliakmanis.
Kaliakmanis?
Yeah, they could do that. Yeah, and then I think the Jets. I think they're gonna take Arvel Reese or David Bailey. They're gonna get the best defensive player on the board early. So David Bailey's an edge from Texas Tech. Arvel Reese, linebacker edge, Ohio State. The Ohio State. They have a lot of good talented prospects in this year's class. The Cardinals are probably gonna take the players the
But
Jets
it's not
don't.
a very deep quarterback class, though.
No, that it
Not a
is
very
not.
deep
Yeah.
quarterback. Just
Yeah.
want to
I
point
think,
that out.
yeah. If the Jets do take Arvel Reese, I think the Cardinals will take David Bailey. If not, probably the other way around. I think is what we're looking at. The Titans might shake this thing up. I don't know what they've gotten a lot of Jets and Giants players on their roster. They might, I don't know what they're gonna do. They might take an O lineman. They might take Jeremiah Love, the running back out of Notre Dame. And I kind of hope they do because way too many people want the Giants to take Jeremiah Love for some reason. And I mean, like after Saquon Barkley, like I don't care. He's really good, but do we really need another good run? Like we have Scam Scadaboo coming back. We have so many bigger like needs, and you take a receiver. You know
Take
what I mean?
take
Like,
Caleb Downs. Don't
yeah,
know.
forget
You're
about the receiver. Yeah, don't go offense, and
you're
definitely
okay
don't
at
go running
receiver.
back. Like,
You
you know
can
what I
pick
mean?
up in this draft. You could pick up a halfway decent receiver in the second round.
That's true. You can get. Yeah, we
This is
don't
the
need.
point where you pick the
I
best
think
player
like
available.
yeah, it's interesting because sorry yeah, I don't know, Giants fan, and there's so many different, like some people still want an O lineman like Mayoga because the line's bad. I mean, a lot of people want a receiver to pair up with Neighbors so you can have like Carnell Tate and Malik Neighbors, which is not a bad idea, but I feel like we're prioritizing fun and flash over like something that could really be beneficial to the team, and I think the Giants brass sees it the same way. I mean,
I've
Caleb
never heard
Down.
offensive linemen referred to as fun and
That's
flash, but
wait,
okay.
yeah, that's true. I don't know. Nah, I'm thinking like receive when people are saying Jeremiah Love and
That's
Carnell
stupid.
Tate, and
There's
yeah, Jeremiah Love. Like I could still understand the receiver argument, the running back argument. I'm just like my mind is blown. Like when people really are like talking, I'm like, don't we have like Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scadaboo coming back? You know what I mean? Like the running back room is not bad. They're just. I mean,
Jeremiah Love I could see because him and Malik Neighbors, like, oh boy, that's just scary
that's
stuff.
true. Yeah, it
But
would provide juice, but like, do we really? We don't need that. If anything, let's get like ourselves like Carnell Tate, so we can have like a really good like 1-2 punch at
I
receiver
say
if we want to go
you
that
get
route.
Caleb Downs. Caleb
Yeah,
Downs
let's
would
like
be
not overthink this. Like what the Giants really need to do though isn't on the offensive side at all. It's on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, Caleb Downs at safety. I mean, that guy he can come up, he can hit, but the Giants need an enforcer on the back end. And yeah, safeties don't go early, but a guy like him, like I mean, he could change the tone of the entire defense. He's a ball hawk. He comes back and hits. He could kind of play linebacker if he really wanted to, or like he can move up in the box, like play box safety, split safety. Or if they wanted to go with a true linebacker enforcer, Sonny Styles, if he's still on the board, that's a guy from the middle of the defense. You pair him up with Tremaine Edmonds that they got in free agency. Now we're talking about like a real, you know what I mean, like a real quarterback of the defense, somebody who also can hit hard, really change the tone. So we're looking at linebacker versus safety here. But Caleb Downs, I think, is just such a uniquely gifted player who can play multiple positions, who can just wreak havoc on an entire defense. Or an entire offense. He can come up and make plays at the line. He can tackle. He can hit. He can intercept. He can return kicks. I mean, like what I mean. He's electric. Like I don't know. Caleb Downs is the pick for me. If
you
they
can
get
even
Sunny
walk your
Styles,
grandma across the street if you need to.
yeah. Wait, what?
He could even walk your grandma across the street if you need him
We
to.
could exactly. Caleb Downs is the pick for me. However, if they go
Yeah,
with
that's
Sunny
what I would have to
Styles,
go to.
yeah. If they were to go with Sunny Styles, I would be happy. If they were to go with Carnell Tate, I mean, like, sure, but again, now we're like getting a toy for the offense. If we go like with the offensive lineman, I'm gonna be really disappointed. If we go with
I
Jeremiah
don't know
Love,
if you should be disappointed if you go offensive
it's
lineman. I
probably
think you
not
should
the
be
worst
disappointed.
idea, but it's just like if we can get a receiver or like a defensive player and like we get
I think you
a
should be
lineman round
disappointed if you
one,
go running back.
that
You
would be
know,
the biggest disappointment of them all. Like then I
that would
wouldn't
be
be
stupid.
disappointment. It would be frustration because I'm like, have we learned nothing from Saquon Barkley taking him at 2? Everybody thought that was such a good move. I kind of did too. I was like, yeah, like he's electric. He's a game changer.
I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
no, taking Saquon at 2 was a very good decision for you guys, but taking a running back when you don't need one doesn't make
No,
any sense.
yeah, yeah. Back then it was like, yeah, like he was like a game changer, this and that. Like what I mean? We needed like somebody like that for the offense at the time, and it just
Your offense, he was not even
he
for your
was the
offense, he
offense.
was your
It's,
offense.
I mean, Daniel Jones is definitely not the offense, but the receivers are
Shut up.
not the offense. Yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, right. I forgot. Yeah,
Just,
no,
yeah, shut up.
my bad. But yeah, he finessed himself into a second contract now, which he did play pretty well. I would say like he didn't completely finesse
Yeah,
it, but
I
like
mean, I have to give him that, but like,
yeah, yeah, I didn't think Indiana Jones had another one in him, but I guess he
yeah,
did, so good for him. But no, yeah, I mean, like from the Vikings practice squad, from getting cut from the Giants back to starting quarterback with Indy and riding the wave. So like, yeah, I mean, it's interesting.
yeah.
But like in terms of yeah, no, the Giants situation is really like interesting. Yeah, running back though, like it sucks how things went down with Saquon and the contract and I feel like I don't know. As much as like I hate
Traitor.
Saquon, I feel like yeah, he's a traitor. And he the Giants also kind of played ridiculous amounts of hardball with him, and to the point where money almost didn't even become an issue. Like the bigger issue, like respect did. And once it gets to that point, I really don't blame Saquon for leaving. Like I hate that he went to the Eagles, but I kind of
Are
don't
you
really
gonna
blame.
blame Sexy Dexy for leaving?
Kind of, I don't know. That's another thing I want. Oh, I don't know what the thing is with him. I think they're also kind of doing the same thing. They don't want to extend him or give him like the contract that he
The
wanted, and then
Giants
he just
don't
started
negotiate
forgetting.
in good faith.
They
That's what I
don't.
think with
That's the
the Giants.
problem, and
They
it's
do
not
not
even a
negotiate
numbers
in
thing.
good
It's like a
faith.
respect thing, and that's where I think I have a little bit of a problem with the way they treated Barkley. Like, yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I didn't like what he did either, but like the way that they're trying, dragging it out and this, and he still went with the franchise tag, and then he's like, pay me, and then the Phillies like, we'll pay you everything, like, come here, you know what I mean. Like what are you gonna do? Like, like
Yeah.
I don't, as much as I'm like, oh fuck Saquon, this and that, he's a traitor, Eagles, Penn State, like, you know what I mean. Like I get
Okay,
it.
no, I
I,
can say
I get
that
it.
because I'm a Rutgers fan, and he originally committed to Rutgers
Well,
to play at
I'm a Rutgers fan too,
Rutgers,
but like for me, like like bigger one obviously being the
and then he
Giants team.
flips and then he flips to Penn State.
And he did it
Whoa,
twice now, like
whoa,
with
whoa!
the
First of all, did you just say you're a bigger Giants fan than you are a Rutgers fan?
I mean,
Get
well,
off this call. Get off this call now,
this
okay?
is my show.
I I'm taking over.
Oh
I'm
my
taking
god.
over the show.
Yeah.
Get off
Well,
the
I'll tell you what. I don't know if I'm a bigger Giants fan. I've been a Giants fan for longer, but like yeah, I
Have you
don't
ever
yeah,
have you ever wrote about the New York Giants? Well, you probably have,
I
but
have for heavy. So like
oh yeah, right, Freddie.
and Empire before that. So yeah, I'm happy I got to do it. You know what I mean? Like it's nice writing professional level too. But no, but Rutgers is like your school. Like you know, and we talked about this. Like you have a deeper tie to you know what I mean? Like you
You'll
said, like you'll
never
never.
be a New
Yeah,
York
there you
Giant,
go.
but you were a Scarlet Knight.
Exactly, and you know what I mean. Like part of it, yeah. Like it could always be like, yeah, I love the Giants, this and that. Like, but it's
And it's
not the
almost
same
like
as
college
being.
and pro have different appeals to them too.
Yeah, like pro, the appeal is like we're really the best athletes. We're really good. Probably. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like bigger crowds and more like this is you know what I mean. Like the team you grew up for,
Well,
rooting
definitely not
for.
bigger crowds. Have you seen like Michigan and
Oh,
like
that's true.
LSU and all those other
Yeah, I don't
places?
know what the. It's just it's weird, like with pro and con. Like you know what I mean. Like with the Giants, like every week, like growing up watching it. Like in some ways, you feel like that's your bigger team than Rutgers because Rutgers for me came later on. But
Oh
then
yeah.
you know what I mean. Like it came way
Well, that's
later on.
because
So like Giants like goes
we
back
live in the one market in the world that's dominated by pro sports,
by pro
or
sports.
in
Well,
not
not the
in the world,
one,
but
but
in the
like I mean.
country that's dominated by pro sports.
Yeah, correct. But it's different because it's like for me, it's like the teams I grew up rooting for versus the pull of the school and
Yeah.
being in radio and band and writing on the you know
I'm
what I mean. It's like
surprised
the two
living so
different
close
levels.
that you didn't go to a couple games though.
I don't know why. I don't know. I think probably a combination of Rutgers being bad and not too many people even in like my like area just caring about them in general. Probably like I never really caught on to it until
Mm.
later. And then when I got here, I guess I kind of did. So like you know what I mean. Like not
Yeah,
even
I
kind
will
of. I
say
did to like the 10th degree. It's like like all the different things and I went
there's
from
a
like
lot.
Rutgers what to like Rutgers like like heavy contributor on the Banks, which is like cool storyline there. But like yeah, literally in the course of 3-4 years, I went from like newbie to like borderline like expert on Rutgers, which is kind of cool. But like but yeah, no,
Well,
I mean
especially if you live down here, there's a lot of people that show their Scarlet Pride down here.
yeah, that's
There's
good.
like when
That's
I
good.
used to work at like the grocery store and whatnot, especially when Rutgers started to like start playing a little bit better in football under Shiano, all of
Yeah,
a sudden like all these people would come in wearing like sweatshirts and t-shirts
yeah,
and hats and everything like that. And you know what I love to see? I love to see, like kids wearing them because that shows like, hey,
yeah.
there's
The
gonna
next
be
one.
next generation of fans
Yeah. Rutgers is
that
nice.
don't.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's nice because it's Jersey's team. Like the way
Yeah.
it's North Jersey's team, it's South
No,
Jersey's
I don't
team.
care what they say about the Devils. The Devils do not feel like Jersey's team
Not because
because
there's so
Philly
many
does,
Rangers fans around here. There's so many
and
like
the Philly
Philly
regions don't even
too.
root for them. You know?
Yeah, Philly exactly. The Flyers fans don't root for the Devils, and then on top of that, you have like the Rangers and Islanders fans that are from New Jersey, but in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole thing is split like 4 ways. Like And the Flyers, like I can't even believe like people would root for the Flyers in South
Oh,
Jersey
I
over
hate
the
the
Devils,
Flyers.
but that's
But
a different story. But I could get it because it's a Philly sports team. You know what I mean? Like so.
to kind of counteract that point, New York City has no college football team. Philadelphia
True.
has no college football team
True.
besides Temple, but they're
Oh,
terrible.
they're
You
yeah, they're
know,
trash. So
like
like Rutgers is like the team for the whole like literally the whole region, like the
that's
whole
like the
state
one
at the very least. Yeah.
that's the one instance where New Jersey has the team, but the cities don't. You know,
Right. Yeah, yeah. We're pulling like Philly. I don't know. I mean, yeah, because so many people are Rutgers Eagles fans, like all the South. You know what I mean? Like all
yeah,
the South Jersey people are
absolutely.
Rutgers Philly sports fans, and I'm just like, what the hell? At least it's better than Philly Penn State. That is like the worst
Ugh.
combination to me.
Uh,
Pittsburgh Penn State is like I can kind of tolerate it a little
well,
bit. Like
Pittsburgh is Pitt.
yeah, well that's true. But there's also a lot of like Pittsburgh fans that are like Penn State fans, I guess, like the ones
Oh yeah,
who aren't Pitt fans. And then also Pitt hates Penn State, Temple hates Penn State, Maryland hates Penn State. We hate Penn State with a a burning passion too. So everybody does, but like around here, and they're 50 times better. But we all like enjoy taking shots at them, and being like Ohio State though, and like haha, and like all that fun stuff that we
yeah.
the chant and all that good stuff. But you know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, we're good at football. We're the one Northeast team that's good at football. And then I'm like, well, if you're good at football, like, why are you like not winning the big games? And they're like, James Franklin. I'm like, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
get riddance
that's
on
a that's a that's enough
on
about our love for
yeah, for college
Scarlet
football.
Knights
It's
team
college football to me is like honestly the best sport in the world. Like, you know
by
what
a
I mean?
mile, by a country
Yeah,
mile.
by a mile. Like I love
Um,
basketball, I love the NBA, I love the NHL, I love the NFL, but college football is special. It's just
First of all,
different.
when are you gonna? You're never gonna get a story like Fernanda and Mendoza and the Indiana Hoosiers in the NFL. That's just not gonna happen.
True.
You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
I can't remember. I can't tell you the last time and the NFL had a moment like Mendoza diving over the goal line against Miami. I can't tell you. Maybe Malcolm
I
Butler all
don't
the way
know. I
back
mean,
in
there's been good Super Bowl
2013.
moments, but like not like yeah, like a team coming out from worse than Rutgers to national champions in 1 year. You know what I mean? And they didn't even spend $40 million. They got like they didn't even have like 5 stars. They didn't even pay people like everybody. I mean, like as much as people said they did. They just like got older players
They
from the
paid people,
portal,
just not as much as
not as
people
much
think.
as like people
They
think.
had good NIL. They were near the
Yeah,
top of the Big Ten, but
they
they weren't
did.
even the top in the Big Ten.
Right, they weren't yeah, exactly. They just I don't know, they just maximized on the talent. They did
And
really good
genius
evaluation.
coaching, genius
Yeah, really
coaching.
good talent evaluation, taking players that other people probably didn't see as good. And yeah, the coaching from Signetti, like I mean, yeah, genius coaching.
He's gonna be the Bill Belichick of college football. Everybody's gonna hate it, but that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, now they're this good, and now like now if they want to get good recruits, they probably can because you know what I mean. Like look what they did.
Absolutely.
Like yeah, and now it's gonna be interesting, to see
Well,
how that thing. I cannot believe we're playing them on homecoming. Like, oh my god, like that is just like
imagine if we beat them.
yeah, but like
It's not gonna happen, but imagine if it does.
fair enough. And we went
You
from
know,
Oregon like to the team that beat Oregon like 59-25 or something like that. I'm just like, this isn't gonna end well. But we didn't really have too much of a choice because our schedule is like really baked badly. Like like with homecoming, we have an early
that's
October
pretty much
and
as
late
far as
October
you
game.
blackout today.
Wait, what?
That's what turns you that blackout.
Yeah,
Because
breaking up.
USC have on in November. So, um, yeah, that's the blackout. You're not going to do the blackout, which would be so stupid. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Indiana, look, we did debate whether USC or Indiana would be blackout because Indiana homecoming could have been against Michigan.
It could have. Yeah. I mean,
Would be ideal, but even still, could have been against Michigan.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't have been ideal for Michigan, but that would have still been like a window for it. The blackout's going to be against USC most likely. That's going to be fun. I'm very excited about that. But It's not official yet. Our start to the season is going to be fun with Howard. Well, not well,
Mm.
Howard's later, but
Well,
with the
no,
UMass.
it's UMass.
UMass week 1, Boston College week 2 on the road, Friday night red bandana game. That's gonna be really fun. USC our blackout, like conference opener could be a third straight night game. Most likely will be. That's gonna be fun. And then Indiana is just like that's not gonna be too fun, but it is what it
Howard
is.
than
So.
Indiana. Yeah.
Yeah, Howard and Indiana. And that's like the biggest flip of them all. Like, going from like an FCS team to like a game where we're gonna look like the FCS team, like 1 week later. To, like, funny how college football works. It really is.
Absolutely.
But you don't see that in the NFL where you're like a 50-point favorite and then you're like the 50-point underdog next week. Like that's very unheard of. But anyway, enough of that. I mean,
We are
yeah, in
running a
terms,
little long here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the final thing before we kind of just sign off. This kind of been a really jam-packed episode. Did want to touch on some baseball, some Yankees stuff. I mean, I don't know. Have the Yankees just been like really like frustrating for you lately? Like after the start that
Three
they've
and seven in the
had, like
last 10 games. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, what are
yeah,
we
losing.
doing?
Yeah, I mean, like going from the 8-2 to 9-11 and 9. I mean, what I mean, and they've even won a few games too on top in that stretch, and like it's still been like maddening to watch. Like they've had their moments, like the walk-off wins have been kind of nice against the Angels, the 11-10 win, you know what I mean, and the 5-4. But the rest of the time they just look flat. Like they're just not hitting anything. It's a really frustrating like turn. You know what I mean? Like when they started losing to the A's and the Rays, and you know what I mean. Like I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
yeah, it's been really frustrating. Even though now they've kind of they've won 3 out of the last 5, like against what you know what I mean. Like they kind of look like they're back, but they're not really. Like because they're just so inconsistent. And Ben Rice had a 2-run shot, and I don't know what Aaron Boone is doing, like leaving him out of the lineup half the time because he's like literally has 6 home runs, like
Yeah.
in like I don't know, like it's just like mismanagement of him. Schlittler looks really good. The pitching
Aaron
rotation
Boone
looks really
mismanaging somebody? I never would have
yeah,
guessed.
never would have happened. But
Never
like
would have.
yeah,
My
Schlitty
God. Are
looks
you insane?
Schlitty looks like incredible. And the funny part is Boone was like he rakes. Like he even said it in the interview. He's like he rakes. And then everyone's like, well, why are you benching him like every other game if he
Yeah.
rakes? Like I'm just like I don't know, man. Like yeah. Yesterday's call of the home run was or whatever he Michael K said or not Michael K, but who's the announcer? For the Yankees. I don't know. He was just like nothing like
Oh,
nothing like hot rice on a Friday night or something like that. And I was like,
yeah.
that's a good call. Like, yeah, that's. And then Ryan McMahon hit the 2-run shot to win it. And he's not really. He's more of the defensive guy.
No,
So
you were right with Michael K.
yeah. Oh, I was. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm thinking of the show, like that he does, but that's separate. The Michael K
No.
show, but yeah. Yeah. Michael. Sorry. Yeah, Ryan McMahon getting the 2-run homer shot at the end of the game too. Nice touch for him. Obviously, like everybody's gonna have their moments. He's definitely a bigger defensive player, but like good for him to get the game winner. That's the beauty of baseball. Anything can happen any night. You know what I mean? You don't know who's gonna step up.
Yeah.
It's such a long season. Royals also not too good, but yeah. In terms of New York baseball in general, the Mets are doing awful. They've lost 9 straight. they're like doing really really bad. Like it's like if you think what the Yankees are frustrating, which you could definitely say, and you'd be
Yeah.
well within your right to say as a Yankee fan, the Mets are just like imploding on themselves already. And I mean, like it's a disaster. Like I mean, I've never they haven't lost 9 games in a row in like in a long time. But this time they. I don't even know when the last time they did that was, but they have, and it probably didn't help that they played the Dodgers and but even what I mean, but before that they lost 3 straight to Oakland. They lost 3 straight to the Diamondbacks. No, I mean they beat the Diamondbacks the first one, but yeah, they've been losing to all the West Coast teams basically, like except for the Giants. The Giants, they started the season well in San Francisco, and then they come back. They play the D-backs, lose
Yeah.
2 of 3. They lose to Oakland, who's making a New York trip because they're just in New York and the Bronx. Lose 3 straight there. Then they go back to the West Coast. They lose 3 to the Dodgers, and then they're in some Chicago. They lose 1 to the Cubs so far. So they're like a walking disaster. I mean, yeah, Boston doesn't look good this year. Fans have already been chanting like sell the team. Phillies have not been looking good. My friend's a Phillies fan. Like they do not look good at all, actually. So I mean, they've lost three, 7 out of their last 10 as well. Yeah, I mean that's just a weird year. The Dodgers are 15-4, and they're like steamrolling everybody again.
as
So like
usual.
that's yeah, as usual. Pirates are 12-8. The Central looks interesting. The East, the Braves look like they're kind of back to their old selves again, which is interesting too. They're 13-7. The rest of that division is floundering, by the way, in the NL
Yeah.
East, floundering.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then back in the AL, the Rays are now at the top, 11-8, but the Yankees are still right behind. It's very early, you know what I mean? It's very early. But the
Yeah.
Yankees just don't inspire any confidence, like in me. Like that's the biggest problem with it. Like they'll probably like be in as a wild card again, and like call it the season. Like and Tampa Bay
That's
might
what,
just win the
like
division,
every year. Like every
like
year.
every year, yeah. And
Bow
then
out in the first and second round, and then yeah, get
yeah,
to thump our chest and say we made the playoffs, and then bow out in the first second round.
exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
so
we're
I'm
the
so over
Yankees.
it.
Yeah,
Like I'm so over
postseason
baseball.
baseball in the Bronx, and then like they don't do anything. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just like it's like a vibes thing. Like like I don't know, going to Yankees games.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? But yeah, and I've got to
Uh,
get myself over there. But so yeah, Central kind of looks like the Central. Twins are leading it. The AL West right now, the Astros are off to a bad start, which also kind of makes me happy as a Yankees fan. They're 8-13 and one and
yeah.
nine in their
Screw the
last 10,
Astros.
or 2-8 in their last 10. Yeah, the cheating Astros. They lost. Yeah, they got swept by the Rockies already this season, I think, or something like that. If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. But they did in Colorado, which is hilarious. And then the rematch series, they took 2 of 3, but they're off to a bad start. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. It's just the Yankees are just frustrating. Like, I don't know what it is with them. Like, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. Like, there's like no consistency. There's like, you can't like predict this stuff. Like they'll probably lose 2 out of 3 now against the Royals or something, and then they're, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then they'll go into
Yeah.
Boston. They might win like they might win like three, all of those, or they might win 2 or 3. It looks like, but then the one game they lose, they're gonna lose like 10-0, and like everybody's gonna be like, "Where's the bats?" Like it's gonna be like the same nonsense until they get hot in June, and then or have their summer surge, and then their mid season, their late summer cool down, and then and then their October, September rise, and then their October flame out, and I'm kind of just
Yeah.
like so tired of this pattern. But and seeing it this
Absolutely.
early in the season, 8-2 to 11-9, and looking dead in the water this early, it just like pisses me off. I'm like, are we serious? We had the best start to the season you could have asked for, and it's gone. It's completely gone. And like now they're winning games again, and I still don't feel a damn thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But that's baseball. Long season. We're gonna have to see
Yeah,
where they go.
that's true. It's waves and flows. You know what I mean? The Yankees could win the next 10 straight, and every vibes will be good again. So you
Yeah.
never know what can happen. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Like you said, long season. Plenty of time to
That's
turn things
pretty much
around again in the Bronx. But in the meantime, I mean, this has been quite the long and but fulfilling episode. I mean, talking through all the series, football, basketball, baseball, hockey. I mean, just like a
yeah.
lot to talk about. But there was a lot to talk about, and all the previews. But enjoy this weekend of sports. I mean, this is going to be like fantastic. I mean, like playoff hockey, basketball, wall to wall, the draft coming up. Yeah, I mean, enjoy all of that. And I guess hopefully, we'll be back for our live stream on Thursday. I mean, so stay tuned for that. I'm gonna try to
Keep an eye
get the
out.
word, yeah, get the word out there if we end up doing that. It might not be for all the entire night, but at least top, 10, 15, 16 picks or so, like something fun while the draft's going on. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I mean, I'll keep you posted on that. Hopefully we'll be back for our show on Thursday. If not, Saturday. But I'm, definitely want to do this. But in the meantime, though, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy all the sports. If you're going to see anything, enjoy that. And yeah, in the meantime, this has been another episode of Sports Vibe, number 117, and we will see you next time.